ladies. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing awesome. Tonight we're going to be talking about your big MoFa's, short for motivating factors. So what we're doing is we're digging underneath the surface to get to a really juicy reason why you want to stop over drinking. So I'm sure most of you guys have probably heard of the saying by Simon Sinek, find your why. You know, he says that the way to find the motivation to do the thing that you want to do or quit the habit or start a new habit is to really find your why. And a lot of times we come to the table with a really surface level answer. So what we want to do is go a few layers deep so that we can get something that really makes us feel something, that really makes us feel a strong emotion, that during the dark times, during the hard times where we're craving, where we have an urge, where we're in a situation where we're wanting to drink, we can draw on the strength of that big MoFa, that big motivating factor, so that we have something that, you know, provides us with a lot of strength, so we can shift our focus to that, and it really, really helps us in those times where we're wanting to drink. So there is a quote by Michael Beckwith that says, "The pain pushes until the vision pulls," or something along those lines. But essentially, I mean, I remember when I first quit drinking, and, you know, the pain that my over drinking was causing me pushed me to the point of making a decision. I had to make a decision. I had to stop over drinking. I had to figure out a way to do it because the pain was so great. It had pushed me to the decision-making point. And it also sustained me. Thinking about that pain sustained me for a while in the short term. And when I wanted to drink and when I was feeling a craving, I would think about the pain that over drinking caused me, and it kept me motivated for a short period of time. But guess what? Very shortly after I had some, you know, sobriety under my belt and hadn't drank for, you know, a small amount of time, the pain, I started somehow forgetting all of the pain, or, you know, my addict part of my brain would really downplay the pain, like, it wasn't that bad, you know, it's fine, you know, it's not going to be that way this time, and remember all the good times. And then my brain would go to all of the awesome things that alcohol, you know, all the fun times and all the parties and everything. So I very quickly had amnesia about all the pain that had pushed me to the point of making change. So then at that point, I needed to create a vision that would pull me the rest of the way. And that is what we're going to be doing. That is what I'm talking about when I talk about a big motivating factor. What is the vision? What is the feeling that you're going for? Why are you doing this? What is the bigger purpose? I do this work as a health coach with women that want to lose weight. And, you know, it's very evident when I first, you know, why do you want to lose weight? Oh, I want to be a size 7, or I want to look better in my clothes. You know, I want, you know, I just want to feel better. Okay, that's level 1. Well, why do you want to feel better? Well, because I know that if I feel better, you know, I'll be happier, I'll be, you know, nicer to my kids, my husband will be more attracted to me. Okay, why do you want your husband to be more attracted to you? Why do you want to be nicer to your kids? Well, because I'm really wanting more intimacy with my husband and more connection with my kids. Boom. There's the big MoFa. It's not because you want to be a size 7 or size whatever or be a certain number. It's because you want greater intimacy with your husband and with your children. So what is that deeper reason for you? So essentially we start here with looking at what you wrote down for your biggest benefit for going alcohol-free, whether it's better health, better relationships with your spouse and children, you know, save money, some, you know, very valid reasons, but also maybe a little surfacey. So what I want you to do is spend a little bit of time, and again, just like with your cost-benefit analysis, I want you to take 20 to 30 minutes and really find a quiet space where you can meditate, where you can really get into a place of contemplation and reflection, and ask yourself, why do I want that? Why do I want that outcome? And then once you have that down, I want you to ask yourself again, why do I want that? And what will having that give you? And how will having that make you feel, right? And so I want you to dig until you find something that really hits your heart, that really causes you to feel something. And for a lot of people, it has to do with relationships. It has to do with their own feelings of happiness and self-worth and, wanting to feel more excited about life. Or maybe there's things in your life that you want to be doing. For me, that was a huge one. For me, my big MoFa's, well, first of all, my number one big MoFa was before I was married to my husband, and it was before I had kids, and I wanted to be the best mom, and I wanted to raise wonderful children, and I knew that for me to do that successfully, that I was going to have to stop over drinking. So that was my first motivating factor. And then it became, I knew that I wanted to help other women. I wanted to help people, in their pain. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to do something significant. I wanted to contribute. And I knew that in order for me to do that, I had to stay the course. I had to stop over drinking. And so what is that big motivating factor for you? I want you to spend some time really contemplating that, digging deeper, and just seeing how many times you can dive into that, into continuing to ask yourself, what would having that give you? What would having that give you? A lot of times we end up at the end with a particular feeling, because we always want something because of the way we believe it's going to make us feel. And so what is the feeling that you're hoping for, that you're hoping to find once you stop over drinking? What is that feeling? So I want you to spend a little bit of time and really dive deep in that. So once you've found your big MoFa's and you've found some really solid emotions and feelings that you want to cultivate, that you want to tap into during those difficult times, it's a vision that you want to pull you when times are hard, when you're having a tough time. Now we're going to talk about anchoring those feelings, anchoring that motivation. An anchor is a trigger or a stimulus that retrieves a desired emotional state. So a really good example of an anchor is a piece of music that makes you feel a particular way. And I'm sure you all have that. I mean, I graduated in 97, so all the top 40 90s hits bring me back to a very specific time in my life of high school, where I have a lot of fun memories and it was good times for me. So, but yeah, I feel right back in as a teenager when I listen to certain songs. And so that's an example of an anchor. You can actually create anchors of motivation, of courage, of, any emotion that you want to cultivate or bring up at a given moment. You can do that. And this is an NLP technique. It's called anchoring. Anchors can be a thing, they can be a scent, they can be a movement, a visual cue, a sound. And the three things that an anchor needs in order to be successful is intensity, repetition, and uniqueness. So what you're going to need to do is decide what feelings you want to anchor, whether that's a feeling of being courageous, a feeling of just presence and aliveness, a feeling of motivation, a feeling of determination. Whatever that feeling is that you want to be able to draw upon during those hard moments, during those moments of urges and cravings, or just feeling bummed out that you can't drink, I want you to write down what those feelings or emotions are that you want to create. And then I want you to begin to think about an anchor that you can use to link that emotion to this particular anchor. I love using music as anchors just because I don't know, I'm a very musical person. I'm a very, like, music just moves me. I love what music can do for me. So I use music a lot to really generate emotion and generate states of being. So whether it's a piece of music, whether it's a movement. So, there's a TED Talk about the Superman pose, and that this is I'll put a link in that to show you what an anchor is, but there's a TED Talk about anchoring in the feeling of like courage by doing the Superman pose where you hold your head up and you like, and so you practice getting into the feeling place. So remembering back that last time that you felt really, really courageous or really, really motivated or really, really excited or passionate or whatever it is. And I want you to bring yourself into that state and then link it with a particular movement, a piece of music. Maybe it's a scent, like maybe you're into essential oils or something like that, that you can link that emotion. And the more and more you practice feeling that feeling and cultivating that feeling state and bringing in the anchor, whatever that is, you're going to begin to link those two together so that now you can do it the other way around, where you can bring the anchor in, the scent or the movement or the song, and it's going to produce the feeling. But you have to be very, there has to be intensity there, so you have to really, really feel it to create that anchor. You have to really be in that feeling state. You have to practice doing it over and over. There has to be a repetition, and it has to be unique, meaning it can't be a movement or something that you see all the time and you're always doing it, because then it'd be really hard to anchor that into a specific movement. So it can't be like every time you lick your lips or anytime you blink, obviously, but it has to be something that's unique, that comes up, that you can link to that particular emotion. So I'm really excited to hear about what emotions or states of being that you are going to practice linking to a particular anchor. And I'm excited about hearing what you're going to be practicing with and how this goes for you. So again, most of my anchors are songs. And the feeling that I link to that is high motivation, high passion, like excitement and giddiness and like getting pumped up about life and about what's going on. And then I also have some scents that I use for like relaxation and presence and connection and things like that. So I hope that gives you an idea of what an anchor is and some of the ways that you can begin to utilize that in your life. And I think it's really, really important to pick at least one that you can begin practice anchoring a feeling of motivation or, something like that, that will keep you inspired and keep you strong during those times where you're struggling. So that, along with our big MoFa's, that is your homework for tonight and tomorrow. And we will touch base with you again we'll touch base on tomorrow.